Hey everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Eileen. This is Eileen Ashley. Um, I'm going to give it a minute for people to start arriving. Um, I've been MIA for a little while and I just want to, talk about it, tell you guys what's been going on. And I forgot what I was going to say. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Did I say that? I know, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I didn't want you guys to think I forgot about you. I see somebody here. Say hi to me. Anyway, how has your guys been doing? I know the holidays are approaching quick. As you could see, all the decorations. It's my grandson's second birthday. Hi, Alyssa. I'm going to get into all that. Alyssa, how are you? Thank you for reaching out to me. I figured I'd give it a few minutes, let some people start arriving. Hopefully, they arrive. My girls, I know Ashley's on her way to work, and Morgan and Joe, we're going to the grocery store. Oh, good. So I don't know how. So I'm about to ask, like, okay. So Alyssa's the only one here right now, unless there's others listening. I can't tell. But I've been in the hospital, and I'll get into all of that. But it kind of threw a wrench into everything on me. It really just messed everything up between my grandson's birthday party and hey Joni and the stuff I had planned to do to start, doing I guess professional makeup. I was gonna reach out and hopefully get some people to book for their holiday parties or whatever. And oh, it's just a mess. I'm just like, I'm pissed. So I don't know. Sorry to hear you were in the hospital. Thank you, Joni. So yeah, so anyway, I guess we could get started. We've been in here a couple minutes and I'm always late. So I don't know for you guys. I think it was about 3, 4 weeks ago during one of my lives, I started having pain and I tried to hide it, but and thankfully it went away, but it came back. So I don't know how much I've told people. I think I've been quite transparent about what's wrong with me. I had 2010. I had what's called an intussusception. It's when your intestine goes slides inside itself. Mine did that, twisted and became blocked. And like I just want to cry thinking about all this because it really is a lot. Um, hoping hoping next year is better. The month has been very difficult. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, so uh, I lost all that tissue died, and I lost a lot of intestines. And from there, we went to incisional hernias and bowel obstructions and more intussusceptions. And so for 5 years, I suffered greatly because I can tell you, they say childbirth is the worst pain. These bowel obstructions are the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. And so, anyway, for 5 years, I suffered through them, in and out of the hospital. I can't tell you. At one point, it was every other week it was happening to me. And then I finally found a doctor who literally rebuilt my entire abdomen. He fixed what was happening was so when they first fixed the intussusception, where they had to cut all that bowel because it died, all the intestine, it died. So where it connects back together, one end would swell open and the other end would fall in, and it would create an obstruction. And then it kept happening. So I guess luckily it happened a month before my surgery. Um, I believe it was 2015 or 14. I can't even remember. Oh, I think it was December 2014. I don't remember, 15. Anyway, so, he went and reevaluated my surgery, and he created scar tissue so that, let's pretend, I don't remember which side, but let's pretend this side. Um, so if this side opened, this side would fall in. He created scar tissue to attach this part to, so that even if this did open, this couldn't fall in. And then he rebuilt my whole abdomen. He had anchors in there, like, uh, basically did a tummy tuck, reinforced all the muscles, and anchored everything down with mesh with these anchors. And I had been good for 7 or 8 years. And then December 8th, happy birthday, Zach. December 8th, 2 o'clock. No, so December 7th, Friday. Yeah, December 7th at 6 p.m. I started feeling that, and there's no mistaking the pain of this. So I started feeling it, and I was like, "Oh my god, no, please." I did everything I could to just go to bed. I was like, "I gotta go, go to sleep, whatever." And I woke up at 2 in the morning on the 8th, and called 911 because I knew right then and there. And then I don't know about where you guys live, but we have some shit ass hospitals near me, and I'm in New Jersey, so we're supposed to have these good hospitals here. Anyway, the one hospital I wanted to go to was closed. They were on divert because apparently they got hacked or some crap. I don't know. So they sent me to the really shitty hospital in the town I live in, and like, sorry, this is so. It's almost like PTSD to me. They treat you so inhumanely. Anyway, my son was awake, so he came to the hospital, and for an hour, no one even came. Well, they came and said, "What's going on tonight?" Took my blood pressure and then left. And I knew the pain was just going to continue to get worse because I have history of this. And my son's 24 now, 25. He just turned 25. So for him to watch me go through this, he was so mad. He kept going to get help. And I told him at one point, "You can't get thrown out. I need you here." And he's a good kid. He doesn't fight or yell or anything like that, but he was getting really mad. And I don't know, it took them over an hour, 2 hours before they finally got pain meds into me. Sorry. I didn't realize this was gonna be this emotional. But so they come over and I ask them, I'm allergic to a couple of things, one of them being morphine and Vicodin and the IV contrast. So those are what I'm allergic to. Anyway, so morphine is usually what they give you, but I'm allergic to it. And thank you, Joni. And wow, I didn't expect this. So I asked them what they're giving me. And they're like, "Fentanyl." And I'm like, "Wait, isn't that the stuff that kills you?" I was like nervous, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, trust me," blah, and sticks it in my vein. Uh, Now I know from the past, they usually give me what's called Dilaudid. So anyway, I know from the past that anytime I went in with a bowel obstruction and a strangulated hernia, things of that magnitude of pain, the moment they would put the pain meds or the Dilaudid into the to the IV, it was almost like as soon as they pushed the thing, you'd feel like this, like, and the pain just went away. And when they gave me that fentanyl, it took the edge off. It didn't take the pain away. So I knew right then and there I was in trouble. Um, oh, thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Anyway, so uh, I knew I was in trouble. About an hour and a half later, the pain meds were wearing off. And when I tell you, I always thought I had a high tolerance for pain. I mean, doctors and nurses have told me that I have, but hi, Barb. Um, anyway, so, uh, I guess I don't know, but I knew I was in trouble. An hour and a half later, the pain meds started wearing off. They're sending me for CAT scan, and I'm not supposed to, you're supposed to stay still for this CAT scan. And every time, so with a bowel obstruction, not only is it a constant like hurt, but then there's contractions on top of it, and they're really severe and like back to back to back to, there's no like, they're relentless, and it's just excruciating. So to try and stay still in a CAT scan while all this is going on, and they're trying, and everybody there, I'm not saying that like the X-ray tech and the people, transport and the nurses, they were very nice to me. I'm not saying that they were mean or anything. Um, but anyway, so whatever. They find out I have another intussusception, which created a bowel obstruction. Um, Please be careful and get better, my friend. We're here for you. I promise. Yes, CAT scan is hard. Oh, yeah, I've been through many. Anyway, so they confirmed that I had another intussusception, and that it created a bowel obstruction. So the surgeons come in and they want to do surgery right away. But my last surgeon told me, now he's an hour from me, told me, do not ever let anybody cut you open because it'll ruin everything I've done. But at this point, it had become an emergency. So Morgan was calling. By this time, it was morning. Morgan had been calling the surgeon that's an hour away from me, and there was nothing he could do unless I was there. And obviously, I couldn't get there. So they rushed me into surgery. They had to do what they call a resection, where they cut out the part, reattach it, all that stuff. And I think the worst part is knowing that he cut through all that stuff that the doctor did. But here's what I'm so angry about, and I hope that anybody watching now or later maybe could help me, because I am so angry over this. I had been treated so poorly in the past when it came to any time I went to the hospital with this, and them just treating me like I was a drug addict. And then once the CAT scan came back, they come running with the pain meds. Um, let me see something. Oh my God. Well, that's not good. Let me see what we got here. Oh my God, I didn't see all these comments. I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. With the inhumanity on top of the pain. Yeah. Please be careful. Vicky, hey, so sorry to hear. I have had the hernia repaired too, and I have been worried lately as it seems the same issue is coming back. My organ lining has another tear in the intestines. Oh, Vicky, I've had like 18 surgeries already. You need to find a doctor like who did my surgery, and there's not a lot out there. 12 years ago, when I was dying due to heart, to have gallbladder process, I couldn't. Callousness is terrifying. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to go through everything. Okay, so this is what I'm so angry about. So all those years ago, before this other doctor helped me, I was treated like I was some junkie. And I'm sorry if that word offends anybody, but that's how they treated me. Like I was in there like, oh, she needs drugs or something. I hadn't been in a hospital in 12 years from a C-section. I'm sorry, from a hernia from my C-section with Morgan. So I don't know how you would even accuse me of that the moment you met me. And then, of course, when they saw what was going on, they came running, like, oh my God, we're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. So that was enough 5 years ago. I didn't realize just um, how much worse it's gotten. I mean, I know the medical industry or the healthcare industry has gotten absolutely disgusting. But in I didn't realize just how much worse it is with the pain management or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, uh, I get out of surgery, and there's only so much I remember, but I do remember begging begging for pain meds. And my sister's a nurse, so she's taught me a lot. She taught me that if they tell you they just gave you your pain meds or they can't give you any more, you tell them you need to talk to a doctor then, because the doctors can raise that and they can give you more, in the beginning. So, and I've done that in the past, and sure enough, they've called the doctors and they've come in with different pain meds or a little higher dose, maybe an added dose or whatever. So, the floor I was on the opposite end of the nurse's station, and right next to me was a physical therapy station or office or whatever. So, uh, I was screaming in pain. The physical therapist apparently had had a bowel obstruction once, as well as the nurse manager. So, 2 of them have gone through this, right? And she said, I recall her coming in my room, but I don't remember much. But she had said I literally brought her to tears, that I had broken her heart watching her, listening to me scream and beg for help. I didn't have the button, maybe they gave it to me, but obviously I didn't know where it was at that point. Um, she said I was just screaming in agony and writhing in pain, and she finally came into my room and asked me, "Please, is there anything I can help you with?" And I guess I asked her for pain meds, and she actually walked down to the nurse's station for me, and they just told her, "Sorry, we gave them to her already. Sorry, we gave them to her already." So this went on for 2 days. 2 days of me begging. So I guess when I finally had enough of wherewithal, I asked them what it was they were giving me, and it was a half a milligram of Dilaudid, and I flipped out on them, because that's like giving me a Tylenol, like, it's nothing. So I started yelling. Oh, this was not 2 days yet. This wasn't 2 days yet. I started yelling and I said, "I need you to get me another doctor," everything my sister had taught me. So next thing I know, they come in with, Toradol, which is a little stronger than Tylenol, and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me? I just had surgery." And worst part is, ready for this? Surgeon does surgery. I never saw him again. Never saw him again. And I'm sorry. I want to give it a chance to read too. Um, yeah, I went 3 years before going to the ER with excruciating pain. Consider the ER doctor that gave a shit to find it the first time. Isn't that terrible though? Yes, they have. They don't even open. Your hospital sounds like ours here in Maryland. They always think that people are seeking out drugs. Exactly, exactly, Alyssa. When I had kidney stones, I waited almost 2 hours before they would give me anything for pain. And that's inhumane. My dad has now a huge abscess on his colon and prostate area. Oh, I'm so sorry. They're giving him anything. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Tanya. Okay, but really quick. So, not really quick, but anyway, so um, I know I was fighting with them, and how much fighting I could do, but I was fighting with them, and 2 days of fighting. Oh, I forgot. At one point, the nurse manager comes in to introduce herself to me. She had been trying to, and um, she told me, "I want you to know, I know a lot of patients say, 'When's the last time you went through this?'" She said, "I went through this, and I know exactly what you're going through." And she tried to fight for me too, but the doctors would only prescribe, like, they gave me Tylenol at one point. "Here, have some Tylenol." And, I'm just like, "I don't understand." Like, how In you trying to make sure I don't turn into a drug addict or get addicted, you are letting me suffer. I'm not gonna turn into unless I'm a recovering addict, obviously, or an active one, I'm not going to be addicted after post-surgery getting pain meds of the right dose. Anyway, my doctor, who I told my PCP, he's been my PCP since I'm 15, right? And I told them who he was, and he's affiliated with that hospital. They never told him I was there, so he just happened to see, um, my name on, I guess, whatever lists on the floor or whatever, and he comes walking in. He's like, "What the hell happened?" Because remember, he's been through this with me from the start, and I just burst into tears and started begging him for help. I said, "Dr. Kelly, all they're giving me is a half a milligram of Dilaudid," and he was like, "What?" He was so mad, and he's like, "I'll handle this," and he went right to the nurse's station, upped the dosage to 2 milligrams. I'm like, "You know, it'll take me 2 days." Like, literally, if you give me the right dosage, I could sleep and start healing, and within 2 days, I'm on lower pain meds. I've been through this 18 different times. I mean, I've been through it more than that, but surgeries. So he's like, "Absolutely, don't I got this." He went immediately, raised it to 2 milligrams. I thought the nurses were gonna have a heart attack, and I was, like, so shocked, like, why would you think that 2 milligrams is gonna be like, "Oh my god, she doesn't need that." That's how they were treating me, like, they were shocked that I was on such high doses of pain meds. I was shocked, but in my opinion, like, in trying to avoid or not create addicts, addictions, you are forgetting the reason those pain meds were created and just letting people suffer, but to the point where, like, it's inhumane. Like, you wouldn't let a dog suffer this way, but you let humans. And then I started talking to some people, um, who were telling me, like, nurses telling me people on their deathbeds, suffering because they won't give them meds or strong enough to get them out of the pain. People in their 80s, like, I wanna I know the only way I don't know how to correct it or bring it about to the world to make a change. It's not like I had surgery and, 6, 8 months now, I'm still on pain meds. Yeah, that's a problem, which is what started happening and why people were getting addicted. Doctors were just giving them more meds or raising the doses and just continuing and continuing for months on, let's say, a broken leg or something like that, which created addictions. Uh, but anyway, so I'm like, I wanna sue, and not for money, not really for the actual money, but, like, for hundreds of millions of dollars to make this industry to hurt them enough to make them stop this kind of behavior, and I don't know how to go about doing that. Like, I don't even know how to do it because they're so hell-bent on we do have a crisis in this country, but from the start, like, look at me. I was begging, 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 begging for drugs. Let's say some drug dealer was walking in the hospital. Let's just pretend, right? I was so desperate. Maybe I would have taken something. I wouldn't probably, but I'm just saying, like, you're creating the frenzy of someone who's desperate to get rid of the pain instead of just helping ease the pain at the beginning and then tailoring it off. I don't understand. I don't understand why they're doing it. I don't understand how they're doing it to patients who are dying. Like, what do you care if they become addicted? They're dying, or they're 80 something. Like, are they gonna become addicted and they gotta worry about some grandma, great grandma running down the street looking for drugs. Like, I just don't know how to. It's like, I really, really, really want to get like, bring about like such a sue this industry for hundreds of millions of dollars to hurt them into making a change for those who are suffering. Make a class action lawsuit for everyone out there who's suffering. I don't know. I know. I'm just so angry about it because what scares me the most is if it happens again and again and again and again, and I just go through the same thing I went through. Okay, let's read some. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect to be this emotional. Ugh, um, I know. Thank you, Tanya. Uh, where are we here? Such callousness. Exactly. Thank God your doctor saw you. I can't imagine if he didn't see me. And that was the other thing. They were like, "Why is she still here?" Like, they were so shocked that I was there 2 days later, and I said to them, "Well, maybe if you had treated me for the pain, I would have been able to heal enough to leave." Like, that was what the problem was. Like, oh, that's another thing. I don't know if you all know this, but your body can literally shut down. Organs can start failing due to pain. So my body was so focused on the pain and trying to get past the pain. Thank you, Zach. My body was so focused on trying to get past the pain that I guess it wasn't healing itself. You know what I'm saying? So, had you given me the right dosage of pain medicine and let me start healing, I needed rest. I needed, then maybe 2 days I could have gone home with some Percocet or something for a couple days and been fine. But now they've created to the point where now I was in the hospital longer. Oh my God. Totally forgot that part of the story. Let me just see real quick. And happy birthday, Zach. Common sense and discernment has gone out the window. It sure has. Oh man, my heart is aching for you. Thank you, Barb. Um, you still look kind of yellowish. And yeah, I look a lot better than I did. Trust me. A whole lot better. I forgot this part. So I would get up after 2 days. I couldn't do anything until my doctor came and gave me the right dose of medicine. I couldn't do anything. They wanted me to get out of bed and do laps, and I couldn't even do it. And that's not me. I would get out of bed the first, second day after surgeries. Usually the first day, they'd have me out of bed because at least I could get back in bed and they could give me pain meds and I would be okay. I understand. Trust me. I know you do. I know it sounds, oh, I can't see. Machiavellian, but it seems like they do it on purpose to bill more. Oh, girl, you're probably right, Joni. Anyway, I'm trying not to be. I didn't expect to be emotional like this, but it does. It triggers me. It really does. But anyway, so um, what was I gonna say? I had some really good nurses. I'm not gonna lie. They did what they could. But so the surgeon who did my surgery, I never saw again. He never came back. He sends somebody from his office. And when I asked them what they did, they couldn't even answer me. Oh, we did a resection. You had a bowel obstruction. I'm like, I thought I had an intussusception. Well, you had a bowel obstruction too. I know, but aren't you going to explain to me exactly what it is? What did he do? Somebody told my daughter he removed food. Like somebody said something about a perforation. What is going on? They couldn't even answer all my questions. I was so angry. You have no idea. I was so angry. So angry. We can all see the emotional and physical pain you have been. Thank you, Joni. Anyway, so this doctor never came back, and my doctor discharged me. He's like, you're going home. You'll get much better care at home from your kids. He knows. So he said, oh, he went and discharged me, and the surgeon refused to. The surgeon who never came to visit refused to. They're like, "Well, we gotta see her on solid foods," but they weren't giving me solids. They kept giving me liquids, and I kept telling them, "I need something solid. I need something solid." For the first 2 days, I barely ate anything. I think I drank water. Um, anyway, so that's true, Tanya. Anyway, so, whatchamacallit? So the last day when did I come home? I think Tuesday. No, was it Tuesday or Thursday? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But, I had the nurses on my side, I had the nurse manager on my side, I had the physical therapist on my side, like, they were really good to me, the nurses, you know? Um, so I called sorry, the nurses kept calling the, surgeon's office, you know, "Are you sending her home? She wants to go home, blah, blah, blah." Because now I was feeling better because my doctor prescribed the right dosage of pain meds, and I even asked for a pain doctor before my doctor came because I knew a doctor could do it. They just refused to, and, I dealt with that exact type of doctor with my husband. I had to fight to get him transferred to another hospital. The doctor was a sadist. I'm telling you. Oh, Tuesday. Thank you, Ashley, and hi. I'm telling you, some of these doctors are like God complex. I said, "Oh, I got the Instagram doctor, by the way," in my opinion. And the nurses were laughing when I called him that. My father passed away yesterday. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Vicky. He had been in so much pain for the past 3 months. It was so sad. It really is disgusting, Vicky. Mm, my sister sees it all the time in her job, and the nurses at the hospital were saying that people who are dying, they don't even give the pain meds to anymore. And I think yeah, that is so it's inhumane, and something's gotta be done, and I just don't know. I really wanna I don't even know what kinda lawyer to call. I really wanna start a lawsuit, like a class action lawsuit for everyone who has suffered at the hands of these sadists, like you say. Um, like, I don't know any other way to do it but hit their pocketbooks because that's the only way. That's the only thing that stops them. And I don't think the pharmaceutical industry would even have a problem with it because they'd be selling more drugs. Here you go. Take some more. They wouldn't even care. I don't understand. I just don't understand why the policy it is the way that it is anymore. It's like I said, it's inhumane. So now so the surgeon, the nurses had been calling um, for 2 days, the nurses had been calling, and then I get on the phone and I call the office, and he's like I said, "No, this is the patient. I'm calling you from the hospital." And I tell him what's going on. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I saw blah, blah, blah," and I was just telling him how unprofessional they were. Oh, easily. Yeah, easily, Vicky. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, even I called and he's like, "Oh, I'll send out another email." And I said, "You're sending an email to the same person who's ignoring everybody. Don't you think you could get somebody in here other than whoever you're sending it to? Maybe something happened to them, blah, 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 whatever." And he's like, "No, this is all I can do for you." Blah. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. My husband was in so much pain, and the doctor kept saying he was asking for drugs. Why doesn't he want why does he want drugs? I thought I was in the twilight zone. Joni, you have no idea how many times I think I said this to a doctor once, especially these surgeons, they have these God complexes. No lie, I think I said to him, "Let me grab your intestines from your balls, rip them out, and see if you ask for pain meds." I think I said that once, honestly. Something to that effect, because that's the thing that hurts them the most. You talk about their cojones and they're all like, yeah, let me see you do this. Let me see you just suffer 5 minutes from it and not want pain meds." Even my sister just recently had a bowel obstruction, and she called me to apologize to me that she didn't take me as serious as it truly was because she had never been through it. And then now she had been through it, she realized just how greatly I had suffered. So I don't know how to make these doctors, nurses, physicians assistants, in the healthcare industry. I don't know how to make them understand because obviously if you haven't really truly been through it, you don't know. But I think like I really want to sue the hell out of them. The whole industry, not just the hospital I was in, the whole industry, hundreds of millions of dollars in a class action lawsuit for everyone who has ever suffered because for whatever reason they feel they're going to make all these addicts, after they've just come out of surgery or they're during their hospital stay, like like I think it's the only way that's going to make a change. I really do. And I don't even know how to go about doing it. I don't. And like I said, it's not really about the money. What do you get out of class action lawsuit? $25? It's about making a difference and making them stop doing this. Stop it. And making them realize like you can have all the empathy you want. Again, if you haven't been through it, you will never understand just how severe the pain is. And I don't know. I don't know. But anybody want to see the incisions? Oh, I forgot this part. I started telling you guys. I called the doctor's office. Your anger is justified, the stress level. Exactly. It really is, Joni, and I don't understand it. And like you said, like, what do you mean, why do I need pain meds? Have you ever suffered this? You don't know. And the other thing is, you don't know somebody's tolerance. Some people take pain better than others. Let me give you the perfect example. I had 3 children, 1 vaginal, 2 C-sections, right? So I've done both. Morgan had an emergency C-section. When I tell you I was in awe of her, how she was out of bed so quickly, barely I was doubled over. Granted, it was different back then. I was all stapled, stitched on the inside, stapled on the outside. For her, they gave her numbing medication and then glued her back together. So I think hers, maybe that had something to do with it, but I was in absolute awe of her. So the tolerance, and maybe it was her age versus my age as well, but everybody's tolerance for drugs is different. The tolerance for pain is different. So you can't even say like a half a milligram for somebody who's never had any kind of surgery or even had a need for pain meds might be a lot and put them to sleep. But somebody for me who for the last how many years has been going through surgeries and bowel obstructions and hernias and surgeries and surgery, a half a milligram is like taking a half a Tylenol, like I'm so angry. I'm so angry. And, let me just read real quick. My thing is, instead of just assuming you have all these patients with low pain tolerance or faking, why not err on the side of caution and treat your patients? Exactly, Ashley. Exactly. The sad part, they will never understand. My mom went through the same thing. But the sad part, my mom was in a lot of pain and they gave her nothing. And within a week, my mom passed. I'm so sorry, Alyssa. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. I was saying, I think earlier, I said it out loud, I think, like that level of pain can start shutting your organs down. So while your body is supposed to be healing from that surgery, let's say, or trying to heal itself from whatever, it's concentrated on getting rid of the pain, which it will not go away because, oh, Alyssa, I'm so sorry. Um, exactly. I can take pain, but it's hard. I can't take those meds, make me sick. Exactly. To this day, I'm still so angry about the way my mom passed. I don't blame you, Alyssa, and I'm sure you'll be angry the rest of your life. Maybe we can get a nationwide class action lawsuit. When there is an obvious medical issue, as in your case, why are the doctors even putting the issue of faking it or drug addiction on the table? I know. Well, they didn't accuse me of faking it. I think they are so cold to patients, and I get they have to be a bit, It's you have to harden your heart a little bit, when you're in that industry, otherwise it'll destroy you, you know? Um, but I think they think, "Oh, she's not as bad as she's acting." I think that's more of the lines, but especially that's why I said, you know, when they were whenever, especially when it first happened, they accused me of drug seeking, and I hadn't been in a hospital in over 12 years, until they got the CAT scan, and they all came running, and I'm like, "But why did I have to be treated like that? For what reason?" I don't know. When there's I agree with you, Joni, 100%. To Alyssa, Vicky, it's sad to say, but if there were no addicts, how many people would be out of a job? You're right. I say the same thing about curing cancer. I said the same thing. My mom died in 1993. Hi, sorry, I'm at ShopRite. Hi, Morgan. My mom died in 1993 of inflammatory breast cancer. There was no cure. Zero, zero, zero survival rate. And they found it very, very quickly. They found it very early, I mean, and it was just a deadly it was a death sentence. There was no anything, and I said, for my whole life, I've said, "They'll never find a cure for cancer. They make too much money off of it." Um, Between being analytical and cold. Ah, I like that, Joni. But I understand what you're saying. They have to maintain a professional distance, but not a lack of empathy. Thank you, Joni. That was very well put. Still not my mom, top two passed away with aggressive breast cancer. Yeah. Anyway, um, I keep forgetting the surgeon. So I came home Tuesday, and my doctor had discharged me 2 days already, and surgeons just refused to come back to my room at that point. Like, what are you still in? Why am I still here? I guess so they could bill, but how are you going to bill when you didn't come see me? I left AMA. I walked out. And you know what? The physical therapist, the nurse manager, the nurse manager walked me out personally. The physical therapist, just the two of them, because, like I said, those two had been through this. They were so proud of me. It was like I did something for everyone. Um, it was really great. It made me feel good to have people on my side, um, but it was terrible that I needed people on my side. Meanwhile, our premiums go up and our care goes down. Absolutely. Yeah. I think they have cures for cancer. They just make too much money to share it with everyone. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Those elite people, they probably get the cure and we don't. There's very few rich and famous people who die of cancer. Good point, Ash. Yep, yep. So yeah, so I walked out AMA, and of course, when you walk out AMA, technically, they tried to tell me, "Oh no, you can't do that, Medicare." Oh, I almost coughed. That hurts. They won't pay for your stay. And I worked for Blue Cross for 15 years. And in my head, I knew that was bullshit. We've never done that to anybody. But my sister happened to call that time and she's very well versed on Medicare. And she's like, nope, but let me check 100%. Go on their website. She's got special websites being a nurse. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. They don't even have a code. You know, when they bill insurance companies, they do it with codes. They don't even have a code that says discharged uh, without, AMA against medical advice. So they don't even have that code out there to bill for it. So Medicare wouldn't even know. But I said, even if they did, I know enough. I worked for an insurance company for 15 years, so I know how to fight things. My PCP discharged me, so I didn't really leave. Technically, I did. Technically, I didn't. But they couldn't send me home with any medication. But thankfully, because of my back, I already had some at home, and I'm going tomorrow. So, to the pain doctor, so hopefully he'll be able to help me, and I really don't wanna go back to the surgeon for a follow-up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to wait until I get well enough. I'm gonna have my PCP send me for a CAT scan so that I'm gonna get all my medical records from the hospital, the emergency room, the, op report, anesthesia report, everything, just every medical record for my stay, as well as the CAT scans from them. the new CAT scan and take it all down to the other doctor, the other surgeon who, gave me 7 or 8, I can't remember which one, years of peace and pain-free, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be, don't worry about my stretch marks. I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know if you could see. But so they supposedly did it. Oh, that's not my belly button, believe it or not. I don't have one. This is laparoscopic, believe it or not. But here's the largest incision. It hurts like hell. And then I got you could see them over here this way. Anyway, this one hurts really the most. Sorry if I grossed you guys out. What was I going to say? Oh, that large incision is where I guess the intussusception was. So I guess that's where the most work was done. Did your doctor who did the previous surgeries discuss the issue after the fact with the emergency room surgeon? He couldn't. So Morgan tried really hard to get them to collaborate with each other and talk to each other. But because he had no privileges there, they would not speak with him. Gotta love it. Don't you just love these doctors, Ouch, I want to get my done, but now I'm scared, but might have to, the way my hernia and gallbladder issues. Yeah, wow. I know, Joni. Joni, your son lives where there's a good hospital. Again, that's over an hour away from me. But yeah, so I'm so grateful for you guys to be here. Believe it or not, I was worried about you guys. I'm like, oh man, I missed Zach's birthday. And I know this is all, petty, stupid stuff. My son's coming home today. Yay! That's awesome. Oh, that's exciting, Joni. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh. Anyway, I was like, I miss Zach's birthday. And I was supposed to do my niece's makeup, my first actual real professional gig. Did I say birthday? Oh no, I said her makeup. I had my kit all packed and ready to go, and I was doing. She had a what do you call that? Holiday party, and she asked, would I be interested in doing her makeup, and I was doing it for free too. But it's just so that I could practice, and I was so excited to be doing it. I had everything packed for to do it, and I was about to put out an ad asking for models, and then this happened. And I know it's stupid to feel like uh, I thought it was perfect because it was the holiday season and stuff like that, and people would be more interested, I think, in getting makeup, especially free, and like now I can't even carry that stuff. It just sucks. It just really sucks. It puts such a wrench into everything. And I wanted to do a holiday giveaway. I know. And I can't believe like Christmas is around the corner and I didn't even finish. All the gifts are bought, but I didn't finish like the stocking stuffers. But the girls, I love them. They help so much. Has been everyone has been pitching in. Christopher's been watching the baby. I certainly can't lift him. Um, Even after I got to be, I just can't lift him anymore. But what was I going to say? Like the holiday dinners, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We don't do a big Christmas Eve anymore because my brother, he went from New Jersey to New York. His wife is from New York, and he misses his favorite pizza, so he makes me buy pizza on Christmas Eve. And I wanted to kill him. I'm like, are we really doing this? And he not begged me, but he's like, "Oh, please, I really miss it." So we don't do that big 7 fishes like we used to and stuff like that. So we still gotta discuss that. There's no holiday cookies made, but we're all on diets. So, let me just catch up on everybody here. You're in our lives for a reason. Aw, thank you so much. Um, my gastric bypass surgery only left me with a 3-staple scar. And when I had to go back for the hernia repair, I now have a butt in the front. Ah, a scar from my pubic bone to my belly button. Oh, they went up. Yeah, yeah. I have no belly button any longer. They've done so many surgeries that when they closed me up, they were like, well, when the last guy did it, he was basically, you know, rebuilding my abdomen, reconstructing it, and basically doing a tummy tuck. And he asked me, "Do you care if you have a belly button?" I said, "No, I don't give a crap. I'm not worried about bikinis or anything." And he was like, "Good, because that's the hard part." So I have no belly button. Even the nurse, I sometimes I forget, right? And the nurse was like, "Oh my God, you have no belly button." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." What was the name of the makeup school you went to? Online Makeup Academy. If you go over to that video, you'll all the information's on there if you in the description if you want it. I really liked it. Um, yeah, that's the one where I got the certification, if you're wondering. The other one that I'm involved in, and that one I was able to get for free in order to do those videos. They gave me um, the course for free and the certification. I just didn't get a kit with it. The other one that I'm doing now is more business. Uh, there's some artistry, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of business, which is I'm really getting a lot out of. The overwhelming part to me is the toxic and incompetent people are more prevalent. Isn't that sad? It is so true. It is so true, and it's disgusting. The holiday cookies are being made. Oh, okay, Ashley. That's why I'm scared to go back for what I know is going to be another surgery. Yeah, surgery scares the hell out of me. And that pain, that bowel obstruction pain, it really I swear I have PTSD because of it. I think I do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know, but I literally become triggered from it. I start crying immediately. The thought of it, even that first tinge, it's scary. Are you free of pain now? I'm not totally free of pain, but I am on pain meds. So, I'm so much better. I still have a little difficulty, like, getting up on my own. Um, Sleeping is a little hard sometimes, but compared to when it first started, this is nothing. This is nothing, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm going to the pain doctor tomorrow. I'm sure he's gonna, will address, do I still need it anymore? Can we lower it? Not that I'm on a high dose anyway, I'm on the lowest dose. And, bye, Christopher, be careful. Oh, I thought you were leaving. Anyway, so I'm on the lowest dose, so, maybe he can, I think I'm doing every 4 hours, so I'm sure he'll do it to, like, every 5 or 6 now, that kinda stuff, but not totally pain-free, but compared to what it was, this is nothing. This is nothing. I think the entire family has PTSD. Yeah, they've been through a lot, my kids. Oh, the kids are home. Morgan's back. It's okay. I do the same when I go for my surgeries or any procedure. Yeah, I've become so afraid of medical procedures. Like they tell me I need an IV and I want to cry. I don't, but I want to. Is the pain is the pain doctor associated with the hospital where you had that? No, he is not. If he was, I would have called his office. And that's just it. I didn't know who was involved. I'm sorry, who was associated. And I think I was just, it's kind of hard to think I don't want to say rationally because I was rational, obviously, but to think about those details when you're in such agony. That's why I thank God that my doctor, my PCP, saw my name. Thank God, because he immediately, he wasn't with me 2 minutes. When I told him how much pain meds they were giving me, he left my room and immediately went and upped the dose. So that's how, he was shocked. He was shocked. So why can't your regular doctor have access to the emergency surgeon? He does have access to him. I don't know what the surgeon, like what the problem was. I mean, the PCP didn't give a crap what the surgeon said. He was like, this is the dose she needs, and he wrote the script for it or whatever, the orders for it. So he wrote the orders for it, and the nurses followed his orders. As far as, I guess, discharge, maybe? I don't know. But he does have access to them. I don't know why this surgeon was ignoring everyone. I don't know. Uh, I do because I don't do well with IVs. Like it because my veins. Oh yes, I have. I'm what they call a hard stick. They actually had to get the sonogram out to get my IV in because they couldn't find my veins. My veins have been like this since I was a kid. My grandmother had those veins. My daughter has those veins. Apparently, they say it's a redhead thing. So, Tanya. Anyway, what's on your mind? What do you think, Joni, when you're asking that? I'm just curious. Same here. They've done that most of the time. Yeah, mine collapse. They roll around. They're tiny, all that stuff. And for those kind of IVs, when you're going into surgery, like normally they can use like a baby one, butterfly thing. But when you're doing things like if a CAT scan has contrast, which mine couldn't because I'm allergic, or surgery, they need the bigger tube or whatever you want to call it, the bigger IV. Um, so unfortunately, they have to get a regular one in. The other issue is too many chiefs. Then they ask you the same questions over and over. You know what? You have a very good point, and I think like so many of these doctors really have such large egos, including mine. I'm not going to tell you my PC doesn't have a big ego. He sure does. But I know how to work with him. Like I said, I've been going to him since I was 15. I'm sure plenty of people are put off by him. But he hears you. Like the others don't, in my opinion, the others that I've dealt with, they think they listen to you, but they're not hearing you. At least this doctor hears you. And I think that the surgeon doesn't, the other doctors don't like when he comes in and overrides them. And he has the right to because he's the PCP. And, they're supposed to coordinate all the care. So I don't know. I think their egos, I think these doctors, especially surgeons, their egos get in the way. They really do. But I'm so glad to be home. So the hospital, my mom at the time was screaming at her because she was bruising me and supposed to be using a butterfly needle. Yeah, like I said, like to draw blood and stuff like that. Um, they can use the butterfly needle, but for certain medications that have to go in, it has to be a regular size. I thought you said because your doctor was not affiliated. Oh, that's the other surgeon, not affiliated with the hospital. The emergency surgeon would not share information. No, no, no. I'm sorry, Joni. The surgeon that actually cured me for the past 7 or 8 years, he's not affiliated with that hospital, and they weren't able to coordinate with him. I agree. Unfortunately, my husband's primary doctor retired. Oh God, and it's been an uphill battle. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Joni. That's terrible. It really is. I don't like my sister and I have been talking for years now about the healthcare industry and just how inefficient and poor it's becoming. And what do they do? What That's why I say like I'm not a sue happy person. I broke my ankle twisting it on a pothole that, I could sue for. I'm not a sue type of person, but I really want to go after this industry. I don't even know what industry for hundreds of millions of dollars to make them stop treating patients this way. And share the pot. I'm not, like I said, in a class action lawsuit, what do you each get? $25? The lawyers make all the money. But the only way to stop it is for somebody to hear us. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how else to do that. So if any of you guys have ideas or know somebody who has ideas, I don't even know. Mm.
I'll give you some. Hey.
I do know there are a lot of people out there screaming about the same thing, about how they can't get uh, pain relief for their loved one, whether it's surgical or at their end of life. You know, you you should be a more litigious person. I'm good, Ashley. Unfortunately, oh, so yeah. Anyway, let me see the date. I know Christmas is like, is it this week coming? When is Christmas? Like I said, I'm losing it. So tomorrow is my grandson's second birthday. We're having a little cake tonight. You hear him? Oh, so Christmas is next Monday. All right. So if you guys want to do a live on Christmas Eve, we could do it a little earlier. A week from today. I didn't even a week from tomorrow. Um, we can do that. We can do it a little earlier, or if you want, we could do it. Let me just make sure before I say this. We could do it on Saturday. Um, but let me just make sure. Yeah, we could do it on the 23rd. Like, you guys let me know what you want to do, what you want to see. Um, he was a compassionate doctor. Also, he wasn't in the thick of having to deal with all the red tape that the doctors have to deal with now. And that is part of the problem as well. The doctors, now I'm talking about maybe 20 years ago, it's been decades. The doctors were there to just take care of you. There's become so much red tape involved, insurance regulations, just all of that the doctors are now businessmen. I mean, they always were, but not as bad. Now they have to be more into their business than they are into their patients. And that's another issue. I mean, even when I was still working at Blue Cross, we were trying to come up with ways to lessen their work because even the insurance companies saw that the doctors were being pulled away from what was important, their patients. And clearly, nothing's been done. It's probably been worse. Yes, if we can, if you're feeling better. I'm hoping to be better. Like I said, I am so much better than I was. The only thing is lifting, bending, things like that. I'm in pain now. Like, you could feel some tightness. It's still swollen, but by next week, hopefully I'll be pain free. I just can't lift, bend, and things like that. Yeah. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's usually 6 to 8 weeks. The downtime is 6 to 8 weeks. But then after that, it's the lifting and bending and stooping and stuff like that I have to be so careful with because it can turn into an incisional hernia. So hopefully, you know, yeah, insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies should have zero to do with medical care. Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. And corruption is involved, and doctors, are scamming insurance companies because they don't feel like they're getting paid enough, and this, that. There's just so much involved in all of that who cares? At this point, who cares? You are literally hurting patients, and it's inhumane. It's the way I was treated was absolutely inhumane. They would have treated a dog laying in the street better than they treated me. Honestly. Honestly, they would have. And it's terrible and it needs to end. So, like I said, if anybody sees this in the future that's not here today, that knows of a way that we could start, um, something. I don't even know where to begin. Um, I would really be interested in speaking to you. Uh, they're also evaluated and limited to time they spend with patients. Yeah, they get bonuses on all that stuff. Yep, they get bonuses on how quickly they get you out of the hospital. They get bonuses on no, they get penalized if they discharge you and you have to come back to the hospital. That there's yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. Just take care of yourself. We will be here when you are ready. Thank you so much, Joni. Thank you so much, guys. But no, I think I'll feel good enough next week to do a little bit of makeup, hopefully. And maybe instead of a Christmas giveaway, we can do a start the new year off right giveaway. How's that sound? Thank you guys for just coming and hanging out with me. I really, I miss you guys when I'm not here. And yeah, I will see you again next week. And happy birthday, Zach, if you're still here. And if I don't see you next week for some reason, unless something happens, um, have a very Merry Christmas. All right, guys. Thanks again. Love you guys. Bye.